everyone. Here's a quick little bonus video with a follow-up Q&A on keto ratios. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we upload videos, and every Sunday we host a live stream, affectionately coined Coffee Talk, where we share a warm beverage together, and then I give you the information on the origins and history of the beverage. Most often it's a coffee beverage, and then we often pair it with a ketogenic recipe. So make sure that you click the subscribe button below and then click the little bell icon so that you're notified every time we upload a video or go live. And go ahead and share out the stream a little bit so that we can grow our little community. I look forward to seeing you Sunday night, and in the meantime, based on some pings I got in my Facebook IMs and one of the comments we got below on the keto ratios video, I thought I would just do a quick follow-up on the 2-to-1, 1-to-1 maintenance kind of ratios. I promise it's not going to get like super mathy like yesterday. Maybe a little bit, but not so much. We're just going to give like a quick, easy peasy talk on it. So basically, 2-to-1 or 1-to-1, it's still the same thing. It's the number of grams of fat you're eating in ratio to the number of grams of protein plus carbohydrates combined. So keep in mind, though, that when you're following a ketogenic plan, carbohydrates do not increase. So if you're lowering your ratio from 4-to-1 or 3-to-1 down to 2-to-1 and then to 1-to-1, what you're actually doing is you're reducing the amount of fat you eat and increasing the amount of protein you eat. The carbohydrates don't ever change. That stays in that 5% or 20 to 30, whichever is less. So in that regards, if you're eating 150 grams of fat, then you're going to eat 130 grams of protein and 20 grams of carbohydrate. So that's 150 grams fat is the same thing as 130 grams of protein plus 20 grams carbohydrates, 150. If you are translating that to calories, I know, I promised you no math, and here I am, all the math. But I promise this is the very last bit of it. So, but if you are a calorie measurer, let's say if you are eating 150 grams of fat, that would be 1,350 calories, because each gram of fat is 9 calories. And then for your protein, 130 grams of protein at 4 calories per gram would be 520 calories and 80 calories worth of carbohydrates. So 1,950 overall calories. Don't worry, you don't got to do all that calculating. It just works out that way, and so I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. Count your fat and then count your proteins and carbs in grams. That makes it super easy. 150 grams of protein equals 130 grams of protein plus 20 grams of carbs. By the way, those aren't a set number of any recommendation. I'm just lazy, and those are real easy to add up. So you will know by working with your nutritionist or dietitian or a good macro calculator or a coach what your numbers should work out to. And that's probably a good point to bring up right here. Just a reminder, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. Don't take your medical advice from YouTube videos. See your own medical professional, and then use things like this so that you can ask good questions, so you are both an excellent team to help optimize your healthcare. So Uh, at no time should you ever be like, well, that radical geek Maitreya told me to eat 150 grams of protein, because that's not what I'm saying. Those are just example numbers telling you how it breaks out. But it's really basically very simple. 2 to 1 or 1 to 1, it's kind of a maintenance phase, whether it's therapeutic keto or weight loss keto or some variant in between. Uh, it sounds hard, but it's actually super simple. Uh, and if you've been eating a 4 to 1 or 3 to 1 because you started out on those old-fashioned ratios and you are a weight loss person, eventually you will hit that stage where if you've been eating 2,000 calories all along, and you've been going great and your weight loss has been going fine, eventually all of a sudden you're going to hit this point where you hit a plateau, where your inches stop changing, you're not really losing any more weight, and uh, no matter what you seem to be doing, it doesn't seem to be moving, and you actually start maybe feeling hunger again, whereas you've been pretty satisfied the whole time. Uh, Maybe even at one point, instead of a plateau where nothing changes, you start seeing minor little gains, or your body fat starts trickling upwards just a little bit, or you see yourself getting like a little flabby in the stomach or something, and you're like, what gives? And then what happens for most people is they throw up their arms and they say, oh, it's true, keto's not working for me, and then they quit and go all the way rubber band back to really massively unhealthy eating, high packed carbohydrates, and uh, it reverses all of the health benefits they have seen, where things like perhaps insulin resistance starts coming back, if you are following for our health, or maybe you're going to start getting more migraines again. You'll see more symptoms. Maybe your cholesterol is not going to be as optimal, all kinds of that stuff. And so what you need to do is optimize your keto plan, again, and that's by adjusting your ratios and stepping them until you feel good again. um, Eating more protein is a huge deal, because restrictive protein does eventually cause some things like some deficiencies, or maybe some hair loss, or if you've been losing weight, you can lose muscle, which is why you might be experiencing some of the things you experience. The plateau is simply your body's signal telling you, hey, it's time to switch it up. That's it. That's why there are all these things. And usually you'll notice, if you see things like egg fast or things like that, where people see wild success, or like beef and butter, it's because it's actually adjusting your ratios from that 3 to 1, 4 to 1, all the way down to a 2 to 1, 1 to 1. Uh, and you just don't know it because you're not diving into the mathematics, and you don't have to. Just start eating more protein and a little less fat. And that doesn't mean low fat. We're never all about the low fat. Just simply less fat. You'll find that when you increase your protein, that you start getting that full feeling again. And then you'll feel a little bit more energized, so that you can focus on your strength training. 2 to 1, 1 to 1, higher protein ratios is excellent for muscle building. That's absolutely the time where you can integrate things like weightlifting, CrossFit, if that's your thing. We'll give a shout out to my friend Bronson and his Apex training. That's a big CrossFit system, really good, and he's a proponent of carnivore, so really great person to get involved with if you need some exercise tips and tricks that are more optimized for that sort of thing. So that's basically it. It's restarting your metabolism, and it's optimizing it for more recompose, and getting your body kick-started back into that burning mode. So, and helping with your satiety. If you want to read more about 1 to 1 from a health and weight loss perspective, you want to pick up the books by Dr. Ted Naiman. This was his baby. He is a high proponent of one-to-one eating and ratios. A lot of his research talks about this switch in your metabolism and how it gets kicked off by changing your ratios. He doesn't necessarily say it in those words, but he does talk about the increase in protein, helping your body out and feeling more satisfied, and re-kickstarting or breaking that plateau. So I will say I believe that it's been a while, but Dr. Naiman has joined the Diet Doctor team, and so that's another site where they talk about a lot of the different varieties of ketogenic food plans you can follow. And they've got that big drop in now from Dr. Naiman on one-to-one, and that's where you would go for really good medical research and a medical doctor who's dived into the details there. So don't make it overcomplicated. If you're just starting keto, you want to focus on that super high fat, which is going to help you get your fat adaptation and balancing your electrolytes, withdrawing from your carbohydrate addiction, all of that kind of stuff. Then after a good period of time following that high fat ratios, your body is going to tell you when it's time to adjust your ratios down to 2-to-1, 1-to-1. And that is an increase of protein and a slight reduction in fat, but while still maintaining extremely low carbohydrates. So that's it. Let me know if you need more information or if that was enough to give you a kickstart to help you on your research way and to develop some good questions for your medical professionals. See you guys all tomorrow for our regular video. Thanks. Bye-bye.